Make an announcement. Venmo is up and running. Okay, excellent. And we're we got Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. Hey,
What's more with enthusiasm? Pizza.
You know, it's a damnedest thing. Today's Tuesday as we speak. Well, first, how you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kibber Show podcast with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler flounder at the controls, and little kitty. We'll get some camera shots as we go along here because little kitty let me pet him today twice. And feed him some stuff, and Flounder's got some things we're playing. I mean, it's really cool. And now he's in here making himself at home and running around, and we'll show some kitty video. He may go up in the window. I love to see him up in the window playing with the plant, and then he goes up to see what's going on outside. Here he goes. Anyway, so we'll get
real
some
quick.
stuff
If everything just dies, it's because Lucas stepped on a cord and unplugged it.
Oh, that wouldn't be good. No. Anyway, Flounder, the mechanical mangler, and Lucas, the Podcat, as we speak. You know, I don't. It's a Tuesday as we do this podcast. Again, it's a weird schedule this week. We're doing one today and Thursday. Flounder's got a double shift thing going because of the election at his radio station, which we're linked to. Extra 106.3. Anyway, so we're doing a Tuesday, but without doing it yesterday, I feel like I've been on vacation. Like I'm trying to get back into the. Do you notice any difference in the way you feel about working today or anything? No?
Well, 3 days off was nice for Halloween.
It's just rare. Anyway, we do a lot of newsy stuff. Of course, the business of Pelosi's husband in San Francisco is an incredible story. But first things first, it is November. He's going
in my bag.
He's going
through my bag.
All your stuff.
I may end up carrying him home. Yeah. Did you find anything you like?
Boy, he says, yeah, well, what's in there? I'm going in there.
He loves
Look
those.
at it. He says, I'm going in that buckle.
He loves those
I'm
buckles.
going to get that buckle.
Oh, cat.
He's a male, so if he decides to sit up and pee on it, that means he likes it.
No, he's pretty potty trained at this point, but I'm assuming when he gets a little older before he's neutered, I'll have to deal with that.
You may not. I mean, usually that happens sometimes after they're neutered when they go around being aware. But it's hard to tell. But he seems like a pretty normal cat. And there's his little favorite spot up there back of the couch for a little bath. Anyway, Halloween. Oh, start. Pete, did you have now you're in an apartment complex.
Yes,
So, high-rise type deal. Did you have Halloween? Do you have the note on your door? Do people go through? Or
I've never had, in 4 years now, I've never had one person knock on that door for trick or treat.
Was anybody anywhere? In other words, nobody up and down the halls at all?
I heard a few. So a few people put stuff on their doors. I don't put things on my door. I put it on my balcony and on the windows and everything. But I just
can't see it from outside.
Well, yeah, you can see it from outside.
Well, if the kid lives in apartment 2C, he's not going to. Whatever.
More candy for me.
Well, but again, apartments don't have a lot of trick or treater kids.
He can't get in that bag.
Now, Flounder, what about you? You're also in a complex where people parking area, drive through, and so forth.
No, I didn't have any trick or treaters last night.
No trick or treaters at all. Probably. Are there any even kids here around here?
My next door neighbor used to have 2 kids. They just moved out. So, but no, I don't see a lot of kids around. Yeah. But again, we have a playground at the park, and so I'm sure there's kids. But the other thing is there's a neighborhood connected on that right side, so that's probably where they go.
Yeah, I assume. Well, and I live in a town. I rent from a townhouse in a townhouse cul-de-sac, circle community. And I noticed one of my neighbors, I noticed last night about 5 o'clock, he and his wife, and I think they do this a lot, they all of a sudden put a couple of lawn chairs out on the end of their driveway and fired up a grill with flames rolling, the barbecue grill, and brought out some beers, and they had a couple of people there. We're having sort of a party, waiting to see what would happen. In the 9 years, more than 9 years now, I've lived at this place, I've only had probably a total of 6 or maybe 8 trick-or-treaters. Mm-hmm. And the first 7 or 8, and that was last year for the first time. So this year I said, well, maybe everything's changed now. And I did have, there are kids in the neighborhood, and I thought, and they were outside, waiting for something to happen. So I got a bunch of candy. And sure enough, I had 3, it was really, I had 3 groups of kids staggered over the course of about an hour. Two or three kids and then 2 or 3 whatever, and I have a big basket of candy, and I had a lot of Reese's peanut butter cups for some reason. I had to add those, the big full size ones, not the little like that. I just brought you some, and those. So I had a bunch of those in this bag. and some other Snickers, some other stuff. Anyway, and so every kid, I said, oh yeah, I said, who likes Reese's peanut butter cups? No, I don't like those.
What?
I swear to God.
It was voted.
Every single kid. No, I don't like that. And they were upset about it. Like, no, I don't want that. Like, you dirty bastard.
Reese's.
There were aliens. Those weren't kids. Those were aliens.
Reese's Pieces is voted every year the #1 Halloween candy.
Now Reese's Pieces suck. Which
Well,
is why I'm giving them to y'all.
Well,
No, I'm talking about Reese's Pieces.
peanut butter cups.
I'm talking about the peanut butter
And
cups.
every single kid had nothing to do. I said, "Oh my God, I've got like 20 of them here." I said, "I can't. I thought I'd be the hit of the neighborhood." You know, and one little girl started taking like 4 or 5 or different things, and I said, "Well, you know, save some. You don't be, you know, greedy and just save some." And I felt kind of bad that I said anything, but again, most of the kids were, you know, digging in and helping them and just pulling out 3 or 4 things, and I thought is that normal? That's not right, is it?
No, what's normal is you
hand
take
one to
2 or
them, yeah.
3 and you put it in their bag,
Yeah.
and then you make them march away.
Yeah, I know. You
never let kids make that decision.
Know. Well, I didn't. You know, I was, and so I tried to be. I was happy and friendly. And there were some adult, you know, the parents were in the background and stuff, and you know, and so we were saying hi, and it was friendly and it was nice. But I couldn't get over there. No, I don't like those, and it like rude. Like, no, I don't. What, Reese's peanut butter? You know. Oh my God!
Well, how about a backhand?
Yeah.
You like that?
And there were maybe a total of like maybe 10 kids in 3 different groups. A total of maybe 10 kids there over, and that was it. And I don't know. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. But I did. I put some pictures up the other day on the podcast Facebook page too, of when my kids were little, and we used to go walking around the neighborhood with them. And in fact, when one of them was a baby, we put her in a wagon, little red wagon, and towed her around, you know. And it was you know, meeting other parents and seeing the families and just, you know, being happy and funny and stuff and costumes and
I miss that.
You know, I really missed it. I really
Scaring the kids.
missed it. Yeah.
My friend Glenn and I used to hang out at my parents' house, and there was this long, dark place between the next house, and we'd hide back in there with this machine that could play police sirens. And when the kids be walking by, oh, look, what did I get? I got blah, blah, blah. We'd crank that sucker, and we'd chase them like 2 or 3 houses down.
I used to have a siren for my bike.
Yeah,
You've ever
it's
heard of
Mattel.
those? Yeah.
It
was
and
a
you revved
metal
it up.
thing, but it was on the, no, I mean on the wheel of my bicycle. Do you remember? You're probably not old enough to remember that.
We had it on handlebars. It was from Mattel. It had a handle,
No,
and it would do a growl, and then you do a police siren.
No, this was a siren that you attached to the bike frame that rubbed against the wheel and made the sound. The faster you went, the faster the siren. I can't believe I haven't thought about that in 65 years. I'll bet you. Oh my God, it's unbelievable with the mind. Anyway, and so it was fun. I missed going out and being with the kids and stuff like that.
Our neighborhood was, as I said before, our neighborhood is a giant circle, 1 mile. So Halloween was huge for our area,
Yeah.
and it was a giant. I don't want to say a party, but my dad and the neighbors would get our red flyer wagon and ice it up with beer and ice and just walk around the neighborhood with us.
Take a little red wagon, and
it was packed. I mean, the streets were packed. It was so much fun.
And when my final wife and lived in Brookhaven, which is, for those around the world who have no idea, it's very nice, overpriced, but very nice. Tony,
right outside Buckhead.
a private kind of a place area, very very expensive place to live. And in places like that, you can see the cars coming in from other places because they knew that the people in this neighborhood gave out great candy. we always gave out full-size candy.
You know what you also had in Brookhaven? You had nice closets. Brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net. Just call 404-255-0589. It's Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net, the best Brookhaven has to offer.
There you go. Now, tell the little folks, I didn't see the Bill Maher Halloween show, but tell the folk a little bit about Bill Maher being, I'm respecting him more and more about just being a
curmudgeon.
But
he's right.
He's just being correct. I mean, he's just
common
being
sense.
a basic common sense American. He's not even being political. It's all things that have nothing to do with politics. Changing your kid's gender's got nothing to do with politics. It's your kid's gender. But the political firefight over it is what people are. But again, the issue is his penis. It's not, politics, who votes for who. So, and Bill Maher, he says, no, wait a minute, just common sense. concept, but I missed the show, and you were saying that it was pretty good. What was he doing?
Basically, he's saying everybody, all you emotional hemophiliacs, millennials, Gen X, Gen Y, whatever, who want the next day to be the good people, telling and scolding. He called this National Scold Day because the good people will tell us bad people what we were wearing that we shouldn't have been wearing and appropriating the day before. He says, why don't y'all stay the blank home?
Yeah.
And basically went on a 9-minute rant, pulled out his own costume. He was going as a millennial. And it was great. He pulled up all this stuff. He had his mask. He had his
cell phone,
his cloth mask, his sterile mask, his NPC mask or whatever. And that's
COVID shots.
And then I left the house, and then he pulled out a stick. And here's the stick up my ass. I mean, it was just hysterical.
Yeah. They had, did you see The View? I've read a story about what The View flounder was.
So yesterday they had kids come out, and one was dressed as a toilet making fun of Donald Trump.
Yeah, a Donald Trump's toilet with all his information.
All his information, and then two kids next to the toilet wearing FBI uniforms.
Yeah. Children. Again, it was a takeoff.
They weren't
on the
over
David
7
Letterman.
years old.
David Letterman used to bring the kids out and he'd give them a canned ham or something, tuna fish, whatever.
Well, that doesn't bother me because that's a Halloween costume.
Yeah,
that's
I know,
what you do.
but again,
did you see the Pelosi one? It was a pair of tidy whities and a hammer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, in fact, I've got several
thing,
memes.
At the View, they dress these kids up, and you know damn well they didn't know what they were dressing up as.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Yeah, but again, if we're going to allow politically incorrect things, we have to allow it on both sides.
Right.
But again, it was sort of typical. Any other Halloween, any incidents that happened in particular, or hear any gunfire? Or
perfect weather for it.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
It was cold and drizzly and rainy all weekend, and then it cleared up. It
was
the
perfect.
Moon last night. It was half a moon.
Yeah.
And the big old clouds. It looks spooky.
Yeah, it's on the other side of my freaking. I have my
Beautiful.
deck is
Looked
Western
like Halloween.
Exposure on my
It does.
deck.
It was Halloween.
And-
If I was a kid, I would remember that Halloween last night the rest of my life because it was perfect. It was a perfect weather. It was just perfect.
Huh. Wow, I hadn't really noticed. Good. Of course, from my deck, I don't really have much of a view. I have the guy across the street.
I saw. Just looking on Instagram this morning, a bunch of my friends posted pictures of their kids walking around the neighborhood, and all the pictures I saw, the neighborhoods looked filled with just people on the street.
Yeah, I think
trick or treating, and you don't see that anymore.
Well, I think we're back. I may be coming back. It may be, and I think which is a good sign. I think not only for the society and the culture, but it also maybe politically, maybe people are saying, okay, we're shedding all this, the liberal shutdown bull crap, and let's get back to our lives again. And I think it might be a good sign.
We have one more Halloween story that was a little late coming in.
Yes.
Let's see who did this. Mark, I believe. Mark. He says, my mom passed away in February 2014 on a Thursday. We buried her on a Sunday. That night I was laying in bed, and I noticed lights came on outside, and I look out my window, and the lights in my pickup were on. So I went outside to check it out. The truck was locked. I unlocked it, and the light switch was off. I had to unplug the battery to make them turn off. They'd never done that before. They haven't done it since. My mom didn't have much, but a month later I found out she left us all a little inheritance, just enough to pay off my truck. I will never get rid of it because it reminds me of what my mom did for me.
That's pretty cool. In fact, that reminds me of all those stories about finding a penny, or what is it? Finding a dime or a penny or something, and it reminds them of, what the hell is it? Oh, there's some long-standing old theory about finding a penny that was left from your great grandmother, and she told you one day. I can't believe I thought about this, and now I can't think of what the actual tale was. But there's something. Somebody will remind me. Somebody will keep a look at the podcast if someone's watching around the world. There's something about maybe it's not a penny. Maybe it's a feather or a note, or there's something that you find something that is oh my God, it was left for me to find from my dead wife or husband.
No idea.
I swear to God, there's a
You're
thing.
making it up as you go
Finding
along.
pennies from heaven. Pennies from heaven. I think that's what it is.
It's a
Pennies from heaven.
Steve Martin film.
Well, no, but I think that's where it came from. The pennies from heaven came from the thing that you find a penny and it reminded you of somebody, I think. There's something in my head about that. Sorry, I'm old. Okay, I've been sick. All right, look up.
By the way,
yes.
thank you, Jude. That cake that Judy sent us.
Did you believe that?
Oh my! I just finished it last night. It was amazing.
By the way, it actually was a bucket of fudge with some cake-like particles in it.
Red cake inside, like blood. It was
I just
wonderful.
put it on my waist. I just smooth it on my waist. I mean, God,
it was.
I told you it must weigh 20 pounds.
I could only eat it in installments.
Oh, you couldn't. No, you can't eat a piece of it.
So
only in installments.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I told you when I warned you. Oh, by the way, today, my little friend Gretchen, who for some reason keeps bringing me food and stuff, brought me some pizza the other day left me some on her way to work, whatever, and it was from this famous, I don't know what it's called, Capellini's or Cacciucci's or someplace up in Alpharetta, and it's thick as, I mean, it weighs a ton, and it's all meat, all kinds of meat, and it's very heavy, and I didn't touch it. When it came in the bag, I put some aside in tin foil and froze it, and I brought it today, 2 pieces for you and 2 pieces for Flounder if you want it.
Right.
And it's in his refrigerator. Anyway, it must weigh 4 pounds. I had 1 piece, and I had to save the others. Anyway, just for the record. And thank you for the Reese's Pieces. I like these. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator.
They're tasteless. I don't get them.
Really? Well, to me, maybe they are now after everything going. Let's see. Okay, we got so much to talk about, and we have newsy stuff. The Pelosi thing, and I've got a bunch of stuff with the Holy Crap at Sports World Series on tonight.
Hopefully.
Is it still crappy weather?
It's Philadelphia.
It's Philadelphia, yeah. Man, this is getting ridiculous. It's going to be November, the weekend. If they go to the weekend, it's November 7th or so. You know, it's just...
It's stupid.
Anyway.
It's too long.
Or 6th, I guess.
And everybody's forgetting about it. Because it's just dragged on and on and on.
I didn't even write it down. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, it is. It's too much. Plus, I don't really care who wins at this point. I mean, I'll watch it.
Why is it going longer?
Weather.
Well, they started late for one thing, and then the weather. Yes, it was rained out, so they just and then you have to wait a day when you travel. So it's 2 games travel,
right.
3 games.
And they
travel.
added another round.
Yeah, right. So anyway, let's see. Oh, Venmo. Did we already announce this?
No.
Pete figured out Venmo, and so now, okay, what is it? If you want to donate to us, again, we're trying to not go pay per listen. We're trying to not make this a pay-only podcast. But since we have literally hundreds of thousands of hits every year, but only hundreds of subscribers, we really aren't making any money. So if you want to help us out and donate something, you can do it now on Venmo, but I don't know what that means. Okay, tell the little people what that means, guys. If they want to, anybody, staff, damn it. So if somebody wants to help us with Venmo, what do they do?
We're going to post it on our Facebook and Twitter, and it's similar to a PayPal. So you'll just click on the link.
Somebody's at home, and what do they do to actually give us money?
They'll click
their computer?
Yeah, they go to their computer or their app because it's on their phone, and they just click on the link and follow the steps, and it's like 2 steps. It's very, very easy.
Right. Now, and they have to add in a credit card number, or do they do a phone card call? Oh, look at the cat.
Credit card.
Oh, get the cat. Look at the cat. He's got his head stuck in the blinds.
Oh, right.
Can you see it?
That's what it looks like.
He's stuck in the blind. Flounder's going to get the cat. He's stuck in the blinds.
Your cat's a dumbass.
Come here, you big goof. What a cuckoo kitty. He says, I'm a cuckoo kitty. He says, I'm a cuckoo kitty.
I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do nothing wrong.
I miss cat. I
Get your cat.
I know. But I'd get 2. If I have a cat, I'm getting 2.
Well, get one.
Well, my guy. Then my guy'd probably come in there, like owner.
Okay, I put that up to the thing, and you can't see it because it was too bright. Sorry about that.
Anyway.
I'm going to put it on Facebook and Twitter later.
Oh, did you get that?
Yeah, but it's too bright. You can't see it.
Okay. Anyway, whatever. All right. Let's see. Geez, we got so much to. What the hell?
He looked like Fred. Was it Fred Flintstone putting the cat out for the night? That's what Flounder just looked like.
Put the dinosaur out.
Throws the saber-toothed
tiger. Yabba dabba doo.
Maybe Fred will win the fight, and that cat will stay up for the night.
Remember, when last we met, I believe we were talking about Halloween things and also Ouija boards.
Yeah.
Well, my former co-morning guy, Mike Summers, who I used to work with many years ago and also here in Atlanta many years ago, sent me a story about the Ouija board, and if I knew this before, I'd forgotten it, or I didn't know it. Just very quickly, a couple things which I think might be of interest about Ouija boards.
Be careful.
Salem, Massachusetts, 1692 witch trials. The city's got dozens of witchcraft shops and ghost tours and stuff like that. There's a museum, and on the walls of the museum in Salem, Massachusetts, is a small gallery lined with, quote, talking boards or witch boards, which supposedly allow people to communicate with spirits. The board has an alphabet and numbers. The player asks a board a question. The mysteriously indicator moves across the board, spelling out your answer. We call them Ouija boards. Ouija, though, is a brand like Kleenex. The Ouija board is a board, a magic board or a witch board. The people who named it call it Ouija board, but that's just a brand name like Tupperware or Kleenex. And it was worth millions for a while, by the way. A guy named John Kozik, who's the museum's owner, said here's how the story of spiritualism and capitalism came to be. There was an undertaker named Reich who made and sell a dozen or so boards. Got a guy to go into business with him whose fertilizer business dried up. They patented the Elijah board, and they they went to some people asking for money to invest in it, and they said, well, let's see how it works, and they spelled out the word Ouija and told the group of investors that means good luck, and he said, oh, well, we'll invest in that. Anyway, he incorporated a novelty company. He trademarked the word Ouija. And so then they decided the only way this is going to work is if we get a patent for it. So they went to the patent office, which had rejected similar devices because they couldn't prove they were actually doing anything with ghosts. The patent office guy said, okay, I'll meet with you. And he said, quote, the chief clerk walks in and says, quote, look, I don't know you and you don't know me. But if that contraption can spell my name, you've got your patent. With Mr. Peters and Mr. Bond at the board, it revealed his name letter by letter. The supposedly shaken clerk gave them his patent and a new tagline for the Ouija board advertisements proven at the patent office. By 1892, it was so popular that the company built additional factories in New York, London, and Chicago to make more of them. They sold for $1, which would be $33 today. Eventually, he lost his business, renamed the company, sold it to a friend, and a guy named Feld. Yes. Is this too much information?
Why is it? Yes, but why is it spelled the way it is if it's pronounced Ouija?
I don't know. It doesn't. There's no indication of why it's Ouija, but they for some reason call it Ouija. Just pronounce it that way. But again, it's because that's what came up on the board. So it means good luck. And the guy who owned the factory, unfortunately, his game killed him. He was up on the roof getting a flagpole installed and fell and broke his lung and right through his heart and killed him. On his deathbed, he asked his kids never sell the Ouija board, and they didn't until they couldn't find anybody who wanted to run the business, so they sold it to Parker Brothers. And the first game came out called Banking in the Parker Brothers, flourishing company. He paid $975,000, which would be $9 million today, and he said he made his money in 2 years. Made it back.
On your deathbed.
On your deathbed. You will receive total consciousness. So I got that going for me, which is nice. Anyway, thank you, Mikey. There's the Ouija board. A couple of quick TV things. First of all, I was watching The Five yesterday, and Katie Pavlich is back on The Five. She's a contributor, but she isn't here all the time. Judge Janine's been their new permanent kind of left-hand girl host. By the way, I feel bad for her because she's lost it. I mean, have you seen The Five lately? She has to keep looking at her notes to see what she wants to say. She doesn't really know the information. It's they prep her, and it seems like they're just prepping her, but she still doesn't get it. I feel kind of bad for her. But Katie Pavlich is now sitting on that far left side, so you can see her with her legs and dangling those little high heels. I'll tell you what, anyway. So I thought that was pretty nice. TV. Now, I was speaking of TV. I made the mistake. I'm tuning in just for a minute to see if I still thought it was hideous. The show The Bachelor. And of course, remember in Atlanta when that DA, that really beautiful district attorney woman, went on The Bachelor and was featured right up till the end. Yeah. I'm not even. I don't remember her name, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to embarrass her because it was so humiliating. That a DA. Here's an educated woman, a lawyer who thinks she can meet her true love by 7 minutes at a time on television with cameras all around. Come on, please. Anyway, the whole premise is ridiculous. And so, and I used to watch with my daughters in Colorado, or I'm not sure Jennifer did. If you're watching, hi, sweetie, I love you. Sarah doesn't. Sarah's not a social media person. And she definitely would not watch her father doing a podcast, I promise. She'd be horrified. But Sarah used to watch and with her girlfriends, and then the next day I would communicate with her about watching The Bachelor, and my over-under thing, I used to gamble over-under on how long I would take for the first girl to cry. Because I mean, or which one? When you meet the girls, I'd pick out for the kids. Okay, her, and her, she, and she are going to be the first ones to cry for the guy. And I haven't thought about this in 10 years. Last night, I'm thumbing around looking for something to watch, and I see the little thing in The Bachelor, so I tune in for just a minute. Sure enough, of course, nowadays, The Bachelor's always non-white. He's like a mocha-colored, honestly, that's the damnedest thing he ever said. He's beautiful. I mean, he's a great guy. Oh, he's beautiful. He's got great body. He's smart.
It's Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, he's perfect. Yeah, exactly. He's perfect. And he's kind of mocha-colored, and you can't really tell what he is, and it doesn't matter.
The hell are you?
And sure enough, the white women are just going freaking crazy. And the minute I tune in, this guy's with this girl, and she's kind of sad. She says, well, I just don't believe you can't trust me that I have these feelings. And he said, no, the other girl was when she came in, and he said, yeah, but no, how am I going to? And she starts to weep and turns her back, and he says, well, now you're mad. He says, well, I'm not mad. I just want you. And I'm going, oh, Jesus, God, lady. And he says, sure. So she starts bawling, and then he comforts her, and I'm going, oh, God. I mean, it was cringeworthy. I honestly, I couldn't freaking believe it. And the thing, and it's. Oh, remember about the DA? The embarrassing part about the Atlanta DA girl was that she, they have hidden cameras in the dark when they're together in the love room or whatever they call it, and you can hear them cooing together and they're talking to each other. You hear some slurping sounds occasionally, and then when she didn't get a rose, or I guess she dumped him. And they're in the dark, and all you can do is hear them together. And she says, "Well, I just, I really care about you, but I knew this wasn't going to work." And he said, "Well, then why did we make love last night?" Whoa! And not only did it out that they were having sex on the show, but that her new guy found out that she gave it to somebody else and then went with somebody else to get the rose ceremony type thing. Oh, I mean, the whole thing was just, oh, God, just makes me cringeworthy. Okay, anyway, so that one last TV thing. Have you seen the commercial? And again, you don't find white guys in this anymore. You see the commercial of the married couple, and I think he's either black or Hispanic. I can't really tell. And they're in their kitchen or whatever, and the guy says, "Oh, Bill died."
Copper Kettle said I should hit the bell.
On my story about TV?
I think the other one.
Oh, the other one. All right. Well, we're done.
But anyway, finish your story.
So it's a TV ad. You've seen it on TV ad, and they're in together, and the guy says, "Oh, Charlie died in next door," and the girl says, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." But did they have insurance? And he says, "No," and she says, "Well, we have insurance, right?" And he looks the black guy husband looks all meek, and she says, "John," and he says, "I'm trying to find something we can afford." And I'm thinking of the Dave Chappelle show when he thinks things that really happened the way they really happened in real life. When he says, "John," he says, "Get off my back, woman." It's just, well, I'm trying to find something we can afford.
Have you seen the commercial that has this old couple? And they say, "Well, gosh, we don't know what we're going to do about these bills. We're going to have to eat the cat or something like that." And then it goes down below the house, and there's two little miners underneath, and there's a gold mine under their house. And the miners are going, "I can't believe they're sitting on top of a gold mine." And he goes, What do you mean?" He says, "They have life insurance policies. People will give good money for that." So he basically screw the kids and the grandkids.
I hope you die so they can collect.
If you die, they want you to sell your life insurance before you die so you won't have any. penny.
Right. Yeah. So you don't get you get money from them, but you know how this
You
works.
carried it for 30 years,
Yeah.
and then you sell it right before you get croaked.
Right. Well,
and no one has the money to bury you.
If it's $100,000 policy and they offer you 10 grand cash today, and you take the 10 grand, tomorrow you die, they get the 100 grand.
Yeah.
That's why they do it. They
I'm
hope
getting more
you
than 10
die, so
grand.
they get your money, and you get a small percentage of what it's worth. So they offer you, it's the same thing with an annuity. If you won, $5,000 a week for life, and you're 82 years old, they give you 10
Wow.
grand for it. But then if you can transfer it, then they, see what I mean? They get the money.
That
at the end of
explains
it.
why they've got miners working underneath their house so it'll cave in and
Cave
kill
in
them.
and kill them and get the money. Yeah, it's a Democrat thing. It goes back to Pelosi, and
It's a vicious circle.
it's a vicious circle. We'll get to that in a second. Let's see. White chicks, boom, Dave Chappelle. Okay. Oh, also for the record, I wish I could get this explained. I'm tempted to go to the dentist, but I think it'd be a waste of money because I'm still biting my tongue. Not every day, but like twice a week.
It's gonna happen.
I have to concentrate on chewing now because of my implant thing. When that started, I started biting my tongue, and badly. I mean, like I can't.
It's going to take a while. If I finally quit doing it when I got this thing done. It took a few months, but I finally got
literally
over it.
have to concentrate to chew on this side where it happened, because that's what happens.
Plus, your cheeks, the older you get,
I
sink
guess.
in a little bit, so
Yeah.
they're closer to your teeth.
Yeah, you lose muscle tension.
Collagen.
Anyway, just really bizarre. All right, hold on a second. Oh,
You need Botox injections.
Yeah, I know.
you come in with chipmunk cheeks.
I guarantee you. Have you ever seen when something bad happens? Like you have a big pus thing on your eye or a big ball and coming out of your neck. Like
me?
Fetterman or
Like
something.
Fetterman's
He's got
ball.
a baby growing out of his neck or something. All right, let
Did
me
you
ask
see
you
that a
this.
CNN medical person came out over the weekend and said that the Fetterman campaign is like putting him in danger by not telling exactly what's going on with him. You can tell that any doctor can just look
Yeah.
at him and tell something really bad wrong with his brain,
Yeah.
and they're hurting him by doing this to him. That's a CNN person.
Yeah. Well, again, who doesn't know that? I mean, it just. My daughter Jennifer, I love you, sweetie. She's a role model. I mean, she's a former cocaine
3
and crack
times
addict, and she had a
better,
major stroke, and she has trouble physically getting around. But she's 100 times brighter, ready to.
Yeah,
I mean,
quick.
that's the result of her stroke. Thank God, was not a mentally debilitating one. But this guy's was.
Putting on the red.
How do we know this is going to get any better? I mean, I don't.
It's
Again,
not.
a stroke is brain damage. It's the blood vessels in the
That
brain,
grows,
not a
grows
heart.
back, doesn't it?
No, like a salamander. Yeah. But again, it's hideous. And again, why did they pick Dr. Oz? Probably I don't know how he got the Republican nomination. I mean, he was a controversial guy for
Trump.
and Donald Trump suggested. But again, anyway, and I hope it doesn't make any difference.
If they do a remake of Addams Family, Fetterman can be Lurch.
Oh God, he's just. But he looks like he looks like. Well, I like me them French fried taters. Billy Bob Thornton.
I like them French fried taters right
And let me ask you one thing. Okay, this is really weird, and I don't know if you probably can't see this. All right, can you see my arm?
I see
Okay,
your
you
arm
can.
right there.
Can you see the hairs sticking up on my arm?
Yeah, Joe Biden, I can see the hairs on your
No,
appendages.
do your hairs on your arm stick up like this?
I don't have hair that long on my arms.
What the hell's going on with my arm?
It's cold. You're cold.
Can you see this?
Oh my God, is there a small black child in the neighborhood that can come rub it for him?
I can't roll them down. They just stick up.
In the pool? Do they do that in the pool too?
Now, is this a thing?
It is now.
Should I shave my arm? I mean, I guess nobody looks at my arms. But again, look how it's sticking straight up in the air. Anyway,
It's
sorry.
got static
All
electricity.
right, no, I'm sorry. I was just, let's see. Holy Crap of Sports later on today, I'm guessing.
Why? Today's Tuesday.
Oh, that's right.
I did it yesterday.
Well, never mind.
Never mind.
Well, I'll ask you. Did you see Terrell Owens is in the news from last summer? Did you hear about this? I just saw. I didn't know about it. But apparently, he was in Florida, and some woman complained that he bumped her car, and she complained. So he got out of the car and told her to stop doing it, whatever. She called the cops, and when she called the cops, she filled out a police report. and there's audio, apparently audio of this. She says, well, this man threatened me. This black man threatened me. You can't go around threatening a white woman, a big black man like that, threatening a white, honest to God. And the cops writing all this shit down, that's and that was like in August or something. As it turns out, there was video evidence, like a body camera or whatever, showing that didn't happen at all. So they've arrested the woman.
Good.
Which is good. And Terrell Owens has got a whole social media video thing, hey, oh, nice job, Karen, something like that. Anyway, it was pretty funny because he's a flamboyant.
Karen. 3 Ks.
Yeah. Anyway, that was. Oh, by the way, I tried to vote again yesterday.
How many times are you going to vote, Chicago boy?
I'm when you see people circling the parking lots.
Fox 5 did a special the other day showing voting. And they went to my place. I voted in Sandy Springs, and I walked right on in. It was like in and out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That line was down the sidewalk.
I'm telling you. I've gone 3 times now to try.
Guess what?
And if I can't even circle the parking lot, I'll go
I'm telling
later.
you, no, it's going to be a lot less today than it's going to be next week.
Well, I'm going from here. I'm going today. If and I'll wait in line. But if I have to park a mile away and walk to the thing,
what kind of a Okay, Washington and his boys crossed the
I
Delaware.
used to run marathon.
On
just
Christmas
saying,
Eve
I don't
to kill
leave
Hessians.
my car that far away unmanned, Mister.
And you can't even stand for 30 minutes.
I could run 26 miles, my friend, without stopping. So I know
Delaware
I could walk if I had to.
They crossed the Delaware on
Delaware
Christmas Eve to kill
them. That's right, to kill the bad people
in their beds,
in their bag with nothing and no money, and didn't have any women.
Never got a dinner.
Never had any makeup sex. I missed the makeup sex.
He got back with Martha, I think. Martha was kind of randy for him.
Anyway, and again, now Alpharetta, for those of you who don't really know or care, is a suburb in north of Atlanta, and it's it's suburb, and Alpharetta and Roswell. Now this construction is outrageous. I mean, you can't go 9 feet, and all of a sudden, like every 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if you go out in Alpharetta or Roswell after 2:15 in the afternoon, they start bringing out extra barrels. I swear to God, they bring out the cones and the barrels and the no parking here. So it's the damnedest thing you've ever seen.
So
cutting off narrow roads. I mean.
I feel a Yogi Berra-ism is coming on. There's so many
you
people.
Come to a fork in the road, take it.
There's so many people here. It's uninhabitable.
Nobody goes there anymore. It's so busy, crowded. Nobody goes there anymore. My favorite, though, was when he said, oh, when so-and-so died, you're going to go to the funeral? Oh, I always go to other people's funerals. Otherwise, they may not come to mine. Yogi, thank you.
That makes sense.
No, not really. If they die and they know that you didn't go to their funeral, how the hell are they going to go to yours? See what I mean? I mean, that's, But that, that was Yogi Berra. That's why he was so classic and so great. Anyway, all right. Okay. Sponsor time. A quick shout out to our good friends at Dead Crow Defense. Dead Crow Defense. If you're looking for ammo in particular, they helped out Flounder when he was looking for 9mm. And by the way, the 9mm ammo is not, probably the most popular. Lately, anyway, and a lot of folks either don't have it or it's so expensive they're charging an arm and leg for it. Well, not at deadcrowdefense.com. That's how you get a hold of them. Not only the 9, obviously ammo of all kind, but they took care of Flounder and the way they take care of you. But it's if you have a specialty ammo you're looking for, they can get that for you too. And if they have that right there in stock, it goes out the next day. Oh, you Mr. Green Jeans here, Mr.
No, it's All Saints Day and All Souls Day, so I have my Beach Priest outfit on.
Well, there you are. Well, you could wear that to Dead Crow Defense to get your own if you want to stop it at that. Dead Crow Defense, and again, it's not just ammo and guns, and it's not a gun store. It's your personal arms dealer. And in fact, it's also safety equipment and supplies and gear and security stuff and things like that. Check them out on the web, deadcrowdefense.com. Again, if it's in stock, it goes out the next day. Let me give you a phone number. If you have something and you're in a pinch, want something quick, get a hold of them quickly. Here's a phone number, area 678-576-9117. or shoot him an email at sales@deadcrowdefense.com. And don't forget, your personal arms dealer will reach out to you directly to tell you how they can help you and see what you're looking for and take care of your needs. And online, use the promo code KIMMER, KIMMER, at checkout for 10% off your first several purchases at deadcrowdefense.com. Dead Crow Defense, your personal arms dealers. How's Kitty Cat? Is Kitty Cat all right out there?
Doing good.
Excellent. He's hungry? Oh, yeah, a little thing.
So as a kitten, I'm giving him wet food and dry food.
Yeah.
So wet food I give him when I'm here, and dry food I just leave out for him when I'm gone.
Does he eat the dry food?
Yeah, he loves the dry food.
Yeah, that's mine. I never had a problem with a cat eating anything.
So yeah, he's definitely got an appetite.
Well, that's a good sign. Excellent sign. Let's see. Holy crap at sports. I'll do it tomorrow. Let me ask you a couple of quick sports questions here. First of all, World Series comments, thoughts.
Yes,
tonight?
It's been around basically the modern version since 1903.
I know what I meant was.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we mentioned earlier.
Any
I'm not even
anecdotes
thinking about it. I don't know why. I'm not even.
Because it ended so badly for us this year that we just don't get it over with at this point.
Yeah.
I wanted to go 6 or 7 games. The 2 games have been exciting so far. The weird thing is
true.
Here's what's weird. I'm sitting on the couch watching game 1. Verlander's on the mound. They got a 5-0 lead.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, 5-0 lead. And it hit me. I wonder if the Phillies are going to come back and Astros are going to blow this. As I'm thinking that, they start their 2-out rally to start come back. And it's like watching the Falcons in the Super Bowl. You knew what was going to happen. You just saw it coming. But guess this. Verlander is now either 0-7 or 0-8 in starting World Series games. This is a Hall of Fame.
I know. It's unbelievable.
For the time. And basically his teams, he didn't get the loss for this one, but his teams are like 0-8 in the World Series.
I know.
Here is his record when he gets a 5-run lead. 99-0. And he blew that game.
Yeah. There's no explanation for it.
What did I say? Never underestimate Dusty Baker's ability to screw up a World Series. You could tell 2 to 3 innings before that he had lost it.
Yeah.
And he kept him in there. He's got the great rested bullpen, and he kept Verlander in there at least 1 to 2 innings too long.
And everybody was talking about how well the Phillies coach made all the changes and utilized the bullpen, and he outcoached Dusty Baker in that game.
Well, second game. Basically, the Astros are the better team. They should pummel them.
Yeah.
But still, they blew that first game.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I'm tired of all the praise for Dusty Baker too. By the way,
I've been over Dusty Baker since 1974 or something. You know.
Man, y'all are old.
Apparently, I care about.
I was a kid.
Auburn fired his football coach.
Yes, they did. Probably 2 or 3 days now, weeks too late.
And of course, Deion Sanders' name comes up.
Well, first of all, the Lane Kiffin rumor came up.
Right.
And
that was the first one that came up.
Yeah, at some point he's going somewhere. I don't know if it's all. Here's my theory. You want to know my theory?
I do.
First of all, Deion. Half the people, the pundits, say he'd be perfect, and half of them know Auburn. So, but it would be a brilliant move on their part. I really do think so. I think Deion can handle it. But it'd be interesting. Here's my theory about Lane Kiffin. If he takes the Auburn job, which is it's easier to recruit, it's more money, so you can see why he would do that. That says to me he's given up on replacing Saban at Alabama, and that he wants to beat Saban Alabama, even though he's got a horrendous record against Saban. I don't think he's ever beat him anywhere. Yeah. But anyway, if he doesn't take the job at Auburn, if they offer it to him, it says to me he's waiting for the Alabama job, because they had a poll of the weekend, and most Alabama fans want Kiffin to replace Saban. Yeah. So I don't know how long Saban's going to keep coaching, but that would mean
70. Was Saban 70?
He's 71.
71.
I think he's 71. Hey, basically, he would then Kiffin stay at Ole Miss maybe a few more years, or he would take a job somewhere else besides Auburn.
Yeah, but he wouldn't go to Auburn and then go to Alabama.
Because he can't go to Alabama. Yeah, Alabama's not going to take him after he goes to Auburn.
Yeah.
Or, and here's my thought. I haven't heard anyone else say this. I think his ego, Kiffin's ego, is so great, and he's still young enough. He gets along great with the players of this generation, 20 and 30-somethings.
He wants to go
back to the NFL.
Yeah.
And
because you can relate to the guys who are now the college stars by
the only way
4 or
he's
5 years from now.
Bigger than Saban is if he does something Saban couldn't do, succeed in the NFL. And all it takes, everyone said, I talked to somebody over at the weekend, they said, no one will ever hire him. I said, it only takes one crazy owner. And you got two right now, Dan Snyder in Washington and the guy in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he's not happy.
Yeah. Well, hey. It's kind of. I mean, I'm kind of excited about it
So if he takes the Auburn job, he'll win there. He'll win big. But where are you going to go from there? You're not going to Alabama.
That's the ball game.
Use that as a stepping stone for the NFL.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm surprised he hasn't. I guess he can't really talk about it.
No, he can't talk. No, right now.
One of the quick sports thing: Michigan State game. By the way, how is it possible that they're all together anyway? Well, and again, still, every once in a while, you see, they merge together at the same place. Whoever thought of that?
All right. How many times in your life have you heard? You went to Michigan State.
I did. My master's.
I'm a Michigan man. I'm smarter than everybody in the room.
Yeah. My daughter Jennifer's laughing because my daughter Sarah's husband is a Michigan man, Michigan Law School. They go to the games. Brady is a Michigan room in his
Do they have any architecture classes there?
They have everything. Yeah.
Because they built one tunnel.
It's stupid.
First of all, build another tunnel.
And by the way, football teams have like 90 guys on them now. I mean,
it's very simple. You know how to solve this problem without building another tunnel?
Yeah, one at a time, maybe. I don't know.
Visitors enter the field first.
Yeah.
And leave the field first.
Right, exactly.
Never the two shall meet.
It's not hard to
Why
figure out.
are you letting them leave and come in at the same time?
Right.
Because they had the same problem 3 weeks ago with Penn State.
I was going to say it's not. Every once in a while you get you can't do it. It's just stupid.
And the players today do not have the restraint. I'm sorry, they do not have the restraint. And you see it every day on the videos of that generation.
That's right.
And Walmart fighting, McDonald's fighting, and Qdoba fighting, right and left. You see it all day long. Yeah. They do not have the restraint to not do violence that other generations did.
Now, the other thing is, I don't know what happened. Apparently 4 Michigan State players are being arrested.
Yeah.
And 2 Michigan players were hurt, broken nose maybe or something, whatever. But I wonder, I don't know I don't know whether the Michigan players were ragging him and saying, you guys suck, you a bunch of pansies or something, and got hit in the face over it. I don't know.
How did that one Wolverine get in the midst of all those Spartans?
Yeah, I don't know whether, if they started, and again.
But if you're running your mouth, you don't need a helmet in the face.
Okay, let me say this. Clearly, if you believe that violence is never the answer, then it doesn't matter what the guy said to him, that's one thing. But I'm telling you this, after a football game of Michigan State, if the Michigan players started really, humiliating and razzing and mocking the Michigan State losers, I'm not surprised that there were some punches thrown I don't blame them. I mean, it's, you overreacted,
but they beat on them with their
I
helmets.
don't. Again, that's wrong. You can't. Yeah, but again, I don't know. Maybe call them. I don't know. I don't know what to say. But it was obviously it's wrong. The whole thing never should have happened, and the players will get probably go to court and get.
They're suspended right now. If frankly, 1 or 2 probably needs to be expelled.
And that's fine. I mean, you can't do that.
But I don't think they should go to jail.
No, I don't think. No,
but if you did that on the street,
this is a college thing. Yeah, it's a college thing.
In a blue state, you'd go to jail.
And by the way, a defense lawyer
red state.
A defense lawyer is going to say, Your Honor, they made them all go into the same tunnel together after the Michigan State game. They were asking for trouble, kind of deal. Everybody got emotionally involved, and they'll say, I can. That's a circumstantial situation that makes a difference in the sentence.
Let's put it this way: this is the only way Michigan State's going to beat Michigan.
And they did handily
with a helmet.
They do.
By the way, that just proved my point.
Yeah.
What idiot came up with red state, blue state?
Oh, I read this. Somebody told me this, and I remember where it came from, and I forgot.
Since the Soviet Revolution in 1917, every liberal cause has been red. The Reds have always been on the left.
Red China,
Blue has always stood for Republicans or conservative my entire life, except for the last 20 years. Somebody decided to switch them.
There's an answer to this.
And I have to think about it when someone says red state, I go, well, those are liberals. And no, wait a minute.
We could Google it. I can't at the moment because I'm speaking.
Red is always on the left.
There is a person who, in some publication, first called the Republicans the red because R Republican, R red. I think it was
rednecks is probably why they did.
I think it's R for Republican, R for red.
It was an insult.
It's like
so what? Democrats are blue.
My ear rockets.
Yeah.
This one has a little red dot. This one has a blue dot. Red for right. And that's what she told me when I got it. She said
fine.
red
that's
for
great.
right, RR, and I'll bet you that anyway. Somebody can Google it. Somebody decided to label them, and that was
But in politics, for 100+ years, the red is on the left.
I know. All right, let me ask you something I don't understand. I'm watching highlights last night or the other night, football, and the Minnesota Vikings game, and they're all going Skol.
Yeah,
SKOL, and they do the alligator Braves chop, the Indian alligator in Florida State, and all the versions of the chop, the Braves chop or the Florida State chop, whoever's chop, and yell Skol. Mm-hmm. And where did that? I don't know what that is.
Skol is a Viking. It's a Scandinavian word like cheers.
Skol. Well, I've heard. I know Skol. Is that what? That what it is?
That's what that is. Yeah.
But why this thing?
Maybe it's because they think Vikings had horns on their helmets. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's even better than the wave. I mean, it's everybody's doing it.
Yeah, they get into it up there.
I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay,
just seeing you on delay here, doing the thing over your head. You look like an idiot.
I am an idiot. It's too late to change now.
Watch it. Believe me, if you watch it even without the sound, it's just as funny. People at home probably just turn the sound off and just watch it.
What in the world?
What are they doing now?
Oh,
Both
mercy.
of us doing this.
A couple of interesting memes going around about the Paul Pelosi case. And again, we're not a newscast, and as we speak, we don't have all the information on what happened in the attack with a hammer and stuff like that. But a couple of memes came out immediately, such as I think my buddy Kevin, our pilot buddy, Kevin, showed a picture of Paul Pelosi all dressed up in his tuxedo, and he says, "Nancy's out of town, and I'm getting hammered tonight." And then the one from Cat Turd, it says, "Gee, I hope nobody with 2 hammers and a manifesto wearing only underpants gets past my fenced-in property, breaks my window, hands me a hammer, and we get into a hammer fight tonight. God, I hope that doesn't happen." And then there's Paul with was he with a male hooker? That was one of the rumors, and it was retweeted. Yeah. We'll talk about Elon Musk here in a minute too. But let's read the guy who did it. Is an illegal alien, which, by the way, nobody's mentioning on the mainstream media. He lives in an abandoned school bus in San Francisco. Illegal alien, protected by Governor Newsom because it's a sanctuary state, and they refuse to. This guy's got a long criminal record. He's a psychopath. He's a nut job, homeless, illegal alien, living in an abandoned bus. And last night, Governor Newsom, I love the way they put this. He's being interviewed on CNN or MSNBC or all of them or whatever, and he says, well, this is not surprising because of the conservative talk show hosts and conservative media. He says like that Jesse Waters or whatever on Fox, like he didn't know Jesse Waters' name. He blamed Jesse Waters. He's been after Paul Pelosi now since the accident with the car, and it's no wonder that he's pretty much causes this kind of stuff against the Pelosi family. So he blamed Jesse Waters for the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband. Andrea Mitchell, by the way, her face is melting.
Leatherface.
Oh my God, poor thing. Bless her heart. Her first comments out of her mouth were, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" That's the same cry they used at the January 6th violent cop-killing insurrection. Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? They were searching for her on January 6th the same way he was searching for her last night. There's January 6th, January 6th. By the way, this guy, the would-be kidnapped killer guy, has a rainbow flag on his bus and a Black Lives Matter poster.
We have breaking audio of Paul Pelosi returning to work.
Oh, here! That's right. Here it is now. This is Paul Pelosi, who went back to his investment firm and looked a little haggard, but he got out of the hospital. I found her, if you will, sir.
Jesus, Sky, you look like shit, man. What happened?
I don't know. I got fucking wasted last night, and my phone says I texted someone at 3:15 asking them to beat me up. And then at 4:30, I texted the same person saying thanks.
And you don't remember it?
No, same as last time.
I mean, it just seems kind of gay, doesn't it?
I don't know, maybe, yeah.
Well, do you think you're part of some, like, gay beat-up underworld? Like one of those gay beat-up clubs or something?
I don't know. I dig chicks, man. I don't remember any of it. I was so fucked up. I might be gay. I don't know. Hey, do you mind covering for me for a bit? I might go lay down in the john.
By the way, a few. I mean, there are some serious questions about here because the way the last I heard, the explanation was when the police department, which by the way has body cam video, we understand.
where is it?
Let's see it.
Where is it? You'll never see it.
If it's introduced in court, they have to release it to the public. So we'll see what the DA is going to. They're going to make a deal, so you'll never get to see it. But anyway, there's video. The police announced their entry into the situation like this. They said they got to the residence, the door was opened, and they saw Paul Pelosi and Dirtbag struggling with a hammer.
There was a third person.
Who opened the door?
Well, now they're saying there wasn't a third person. They've totally changed their story.
The cuckold.
But why did they say the door was opened? That's not how you. That's passive tense. That's like saying the person was shot. Well, the question, well, who shot him? Well, the person was shot. Well, I know he was shot, but who shot? In other words, if you do the active tense, somebody, who opened the door? Bill opened. Pelosi opened the door. The guy opened the door. Who opened the door?
Not only
you don't say the door was opened automatically.
And the glass is broken from the outside.
Yeah, and where's the glass if it's on the
broken from the
outside
inside,
of the thing?
and the glass went out.
Yeah.
So it was from the inside, not the outside.
These are legitimate questions. There was a rumor that he had a gay escort over there, and I think they poo-pooed that. But still, I mean, if you're not going to come forth with the information, people are going to have to guess about what's going on.
Well, the thing, Libs of TikTok is exposing all the liberal hypocrites like the Andrea Mitchells are running.
Oh, God.
Where's the empathy? Blah, blah, blah.
One after another.
And all of them posted what they did after Rand Paul was almost killed. And almost every one of them, including that bitch, it's on MSNBC.
Audio,
or
she says that this made my day.
This made my day. This story makes my day. All of them laughing and saying he deserved it. He got what he deserved. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And let's not forget, they're all saying the man had zip ties. He had a hammer and zip ties. Gee, didn't the guy who showed up to kidnap Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh have hammers and zip ties? Ta-da! Though this is not exactly a January 6th problem.
Where did he have the zip ties?
In his underpants, I guess. I don't know.
What kind of crack is that?
But
I'm telling you what,
it's amazing.
We have seen
freaking hypocrites.
The billboard being burned on a Democrat's farm up in Pennsylvania. You're going to see in the next week, they're panicking.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The Republicans think they're going to win. The conservatives, the right, thinks they're going to win. Why would they jeopardize that by doing crazy stunts in the last 2 weeks?
It's ridiculous.
The stunts are coming from the left.
Yeah. This guy's not a Trump-supporting conservative. He's a psychopath. He lives in a burned-out
He's a
bus.
He's a gypsy nudist.
I mean, come on.
Even the San Francisco neighbors were saying that this guy was weird.
Yeah.
Coming right out and said the whole family's weird.
Yeah. Absolutely, and they all know him.
Well, you got to wonder, did they pay this guy off to say, I tried to kill him, versus I was over there doing whatever?
Well.
2 times in the last 6 months, Paul Pelosi has been found at the crime scene, and both times he was hammered.
But the officers responded. Let's not forget the Representative Rodney Davis, who was at the baseball practice 4 years ago in Alexandria when the gunman, liberal leftist Democrat, shot Steve Scalise and tried to kill him. Yeah. I mean, it's... Please, and they're going to blame that on January 6th Republicans? That sounds a little bizarre.
They're going. I tell you, it's going to get crazy in the next week.
Well, they've only got a week from today.
They're panicking.
As we speak. Coming up, I love the Twitter stuff and Elon Musk and what's going on with that. And I think this is really cool. And some of the reaction from one of the attorneys who suggests that Elon Musk should have his citizenship taken away. And speaking of citizenship, there's something pretty funny about Elon Musk and a meme that's going around concerning who owns Twitter now. But first, our friends at Wise RV Glass, saluting them as a Kimmer podcast show sponsor. Guys, we really appreciate this. Wise RV Glass. Dad Carl retired a little while ago. His son Russell's been taking over things, and this is a great idea. If you have an RV, a motor coach, camper, something like that, and you have any kind of a glass issue, might be a fogged up double pane window, maybe even a broken side view mirror, or a spider web crack, or a ding in the front windshield, even those hard to find one piece flat front windshields on SUVs, some are RVs and so forth, they will come to you and replace it in your frame, saving you time and money. It's an all mobile service, all North Georgia, all Metro Atlanta, and don't forget, no job is too big or too small. If you have a fleet of things that got hurt in a sandstorm or something, they can redundant. But if you have even a side view mirror and you're thinking, oh, they're not, yes, they do. That's what they do. They come to you. It's what they do for a living. So give them a call. Here's their phone number. I'll give you the address here too on the internet. Area 470-345-6521. And on the web, it's WISE, wiservglass.com. And thank you very much. Okie dokie. A couple of, by the way, you sending me messages, is that right?
We talked last week about a game called The Green Ghost that I had as a kid. So I sent you a picture of it, everything. I guess you can still buy it on Etsy or something.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Kids would love that game if they have the patience to play it, because you play it in the dark because the whole board glows.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a phone game?
What's the summary of the game?
You go buy it at the
It's a
store,
board game. It's a board game.
Oh, really? Okay.
They don't make it anymore, I don't think, anymore. You have to buy an old version or
Let
something.
me see if it's on Amazon.
See if you can find it on Amazon. It was one of the funniest games.
Well,
You're a ghost.
I'm looking for Christmas presents for the kids, for my grandkids.
How old are they? Because it's got a lot of little pieces.
Oh, no, they're 12 and 8 or 9.
But they like playing in the dark?
Yeah. Well, they might. Let's see. Couple. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Strick says he has a feeling his father's going to vote Democrat this year. He passed away 7 years ago.
Right. So on eBay, Green Ghost is going for about $150.
How about Kabbalah? Kabala. Look up Kabbalah,
that one too.
which had that eye. It was a Ouija board basically for kids.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week, I think.
See if you find Kabbalah.
There's one that shows $83. Another one's $200.
Wow.
But all that vintage stuff, people will.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
In fact, I'll save the story. I've got a vintage Christmas memory. Excuse me, I'm bourbon. It came up because of Ron's cheese board, but I'll get it in a second. Here's a couple of memes going around, which I think are pretty amusing. Elon Musk should make the Twitter logo red instead of the bluebird.
Yeah,
just make a red.
Well, yesterday he did a tweet asking, because obviously Twitter was not making a profit,
right?
And he wants to try and make a profit.
I got that story coming up. Hold on, and give me one more second. But one more great meme about this too, which is pretty funny. Great news: an African American now officially owns Twitter. Which is a perfect point. And again, the hate for Elon Musk, holy smokes. I mean, it's hard to believe. Obviously, the Twitter's new owner Elon Musk fired the board of directors. He's the sole member. And he tweeted a poll asking how much users would be willing to pay for the blue check mark that Twitter historically uses to verify high-profile accounts so users know that it's really them. Critics have derided it, saying it's granted to celebrities and politicians and big shots and elite status.
You can't get one. I can't get one.
But Twitter uses the blue checkmark to verify activists and people who suddenly find themselves in the news so they know they're real. But Musk says the whole verification process is being revamped right now.
Thank you.
It is. And by the way, speaking of the guys who got outed, Parag Agrawal got $50 million freaking dollars.
Now, supposedly he's taking those away because he fired him with the cause.
Well, Ned Siegel and Vijay J. Gadada, whatever it is, Vijay J. Jujijop, are going to get between $37 and $17 million. But and people, of course, these glory, golden shower packages or whatever they call them.
By the way, Flounder,
I'm not really sure that the golden shower package.
he's thinking about bringing back Vine, which I used to use.
What's Vine?
Vine was it was like TikTok. You did small little videos of a few seconds.
Oh yes,
and people loved it.
Oh, I remember that.
And they got
I never
rid
used
of
it, but I remember that.
I think you should bring it back and make it a rival to TikTok.
Especially considering all the drama with TikTok,
Chinese
Chinese
spies.
taking all your information and shit.
Literally, if you're using TikTok, if you've got the TikTok act,
they have your information.
They have everything on your phone.
That's right.
Everything.
Joe Rogan read the T's and C's of TikTok, and it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Um,
it's harmless.
And you've heard, I don't watch MSNBC, obviously, but there's a guy who's on there all the time who's an attorney, Dean Obadala, is getting mocked because he says he personally is going to investigate Elon Musk's immigration records in the hopes of stripping him of his U.S. citizenship.
Amazing.
The liberals like this guy are going nuts. He's a self-proclaimed comedian. He says, as a lawyer, I'm going to do research to see if Elon Musk in any way lied on his application. I'm making an FOIA request, Freedom of Information, for his immigration application. If he lied anywhere on the application, we'll move to strip him of his U.S. citizenship. Stay tuned.
The man who's paid more taxes than any other man in history of America.
And who's trying to bring freedom and decency back to the social media.
The money he's bringing here. And they won't go after the illegals that come here and do crimes.
Believe me, it's unbelievable. I mean, every issue you can say, yeah, but let's look at what they've done that should be an issue. I mean, it's astounding, everything you've said and a million more. Twitter users are quick to lampoon this idiot. He wants to strip U.S. citizenship from an African-American man. He wants to strip an African-American of his citizenship and make him so he can't vote. An African-American denied the right to vote by the left. There's something pretty ironic about a liberal, an ideology known for advocating lax immigration policy, calling to investigate and punish somebody by immigration law. Another liberal rhetoric back at Obadiah saying, no human is illegal. Another, all of a sudden now you care about illegal immigration? That's pretty funny. A man who loves immigrants and also loves to point out that the people he doesn't like are dirty foreigners. Another, people breathless about fascism on regular opening people breathless about fascism on the reg, openly promoting stripping Elon Musk of his citizenship because he disagrees with him, which of course is fascism. Charlie Cook, National Review, took it one step further, highlighting some dystopian phrasing about how Obadala framed his proposal. He noted, quote, this person describes himself as a liberal and shared a screenshot of Obadala essentially arguing that if Musk has done nothing wrong, he has nothing to hide.
Oh, my God.
When's the last time you heard people who feel insecure, underqualified for their position to see what hot takes given by people like him who claim to be trained in law. Great cure for an imposter syndrome is to type as a lawyer into the search bar and peruse the fresh steaming piles of fertilizer that people post on this website. Boy, he says, now you're even worse lawyer than you are a comedian. This is fitting for a dude who was suspended from practice for 12 years would write something this stupid and incompetent about the First Amendment. Anyway, it just goes on and on and on and on about Elon Musk and Twitter. I think it's going to be great. I mean, I don't see any negative other than they keep threatening the liberals to leave. Good. You're supposed to be in Canada now anyway.
They're already lying about the regime media has already started spreading lies that Elon's done this and Elon said this when he has even. And Elon went on there yesterday, the day before, and said something from the New York Times. He says, "I never did this."
Yeah. Right.
This is not true.
Well, they're trying. In fact, they're trying to. Isn't it the SEC's trying to investigate him to see whether he broke the law in the purchase to try to strip him of even be able to do that? Oh my God.
As Bill Maher says, maybe this isn't the guy we should be pissing off. This guy is probably inventing. He's inventing robots. Death squads. He's going to have his own android army.
He'll have those little teeny little poison dart drones that go around by the million of them. Yeah.
He's said it multiple times. Don't be scared of nuclear war. Be scared of AI.
AI
That's
and
what's
nanobots.
coming. That's what's coming.
That's what's coming. It's going. It's
Yeah,
faster.
Millions of little poison little drones.
We have
Remember that
no
movie
idea
with
how
Tom
fast it's
Selleck?
going. Yeah, Tom Selleck with Runaway. Was it Runaway with Gene Simmons?
Yeah,
the little robots
those
that went
things
around.
gave me the.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah, it was a good little
Well,
movie.
what was it? Was it Tom Cruise or with a movie with the look in your eyeball and that's when
That's
you
all
committed a
of
crime?
Every
and
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Minority Report.
Minority Report.
Good movie.
And they send little robot drones around to look in your eyeballs. Oblivion. There's
where
another
the
one.
aliens are in
Yeah.
control and use it against us.
You know, if they can think it, they can do it. Somebody's doing it.
Elon and somebody else said that you got to worry that the AI stuff is going faster than people think. This is going to hit us one day.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And was it Elon or someone else said? Yeah, I think it was Elon Musk said, if AI decides, if you say, AI, I want you to fix spam emails. And the AI looks at it and says, I know a way to fix the spam emails. Who's doing them? Humans are doing them. If we get rid of the humans, there's no more spam emails.
Well, there you go. That's that's
Skynet.
yeah,
That's
exactly
Terminator.
Skynet. Yeah.
I look at this and I'm thinking, well, thank God I'm not going to see a lot of the. And
Yeah,
then I think of my
seeing it.
family.
Yeah.
I think of the family
My
and
kid-
the young
my
kids.
grandkids.
What are they going to live? Oh, and here's another thing: Turkey and 2 Scandinavian countries and the Netherlands are putting in place a centralized currency, which is digital, and they're tying it in basically. If you use it, they decide when you buy it, when you can't buy something, food, energy, travel.
Well, who in the world would sign up for that?
The Europeans are right now.
Oh, my God.
That'll get people killed here if they try that shit here. The social credit thing, that'll get people killed.
Yeah. But they tell me on my phone I can't go buy groceries tonight. I'm going to the store with my gun.
It makes you want to buy.
I always go to the store
I'll
with
go
my
take
gun.
it. You're not kidding anybody.
I love to get out of my car in the parking lot. You see me put my gun in my pocket, and the guy, ladies going, huh?
Oh, you need a hand with that?
But does it make you think about going and buying gold or silver so you can barter?
Well,
And will that be
Yeah.
worth anything if they have
I
this
guess we need to get in touch with Rosalind Capital.
well, they're doing a lot of advertising.
Yeah,
on this
I know.
stuff,
But
man.
if it goes to a thing where it's all digital, is gold and silver going to mean
Well,
anything
have any
anymore?
meaning if you can't use it.
Yeah, if you can't use it,
The store's not going to take it. Then what? What
Isn't
good
that
is it?
illegal?
everything's going to be underground.
Don't you have to accept currency?
Well, if it's legal tender, but
But
if they go digital,
not if
that'll
they
be
change
legal
the
tender.
law.
Yeah. Anyway, unless you have 2 legal tenders, which that could be. A
No,
little,
they won't do that.
Well, I don't know. I don't like any of this.
And
you
put
know,
the
I
chip
just-
in your forehead or here.
I got one right now. Just the other day.
Well, remember that show, Person of Interest?
Oh,
That we
yeah.
like- by
Yeah.
the way, that's a great show.
That was a great
you
show.
should watch that show.
That was
great
a
show.
very well done show.
There's one part where the guy says, for years, we in the government tried to get information from people, and they refused to give it to us. And then I invented social media. He claims he invented social media, and they handed it over willingly.
Yeah. That's not good.
15-minute mark.
Oh, good, excellent. So you're all set for goodness.
Well, just with I have a tight schedule today.
You have to be done in 15 minutes.
15, 20 minutes, all right?
Oh my God. Oh sure, but I'll start racing.
No. Take your time.
No,
but
no,
again,
no,
just-
no.
No, right.
Yeah, again, Flounder's got a work thing, so we're
It's
trying.
just this week, and while the election shit's going on.
I just want to mention a couple of these quick things.
no, go do your thing.
Wait a minute. Flounder's crazy schedule brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
Well, there you are.
Printing custom shirts and hats and signs, promotional items, no minimum order, no setup fees. Order 1, order 1,000, doesn't matter. For all your Kimmer Show shirt, tumbler, and coffee cup needs, Holy Crap and Sports, whatever. FarmhousePrintingCo.com, now with laser engraving.
And again, there's one more sports section. And again, these make great Christmas gifts, especially for
Sports
grandparents.
sections?
Yeah, no. Farmhouse Printing Co. If you have a grandfather, grandfathers
Cheap
and
bastard.
parents are well. Just stop it, you bastards! I'm trying to help the little people. If you're looking for Christmas ideas for your grandfather or for your grandson or whatever, a picture on a shirt or a hat or something or a coffee mug or whatever is a great gift. They're not expensive and they would love it, and it's easy to do. It's like I tell my kids one thing I get every year for Christmas and my birthday. Address labels, stuff like that, or a kitchen magnets to hang up their thank you notes and I love you cards and stuff.
You know what I need this year?
What?
I'm going to tell my family this when we finally get to this. I need a broom and a toaster.
There you are.
I'm going to see. They'll give me another shirt.
You know what else I need? I need one of those small little brushes. It's a little screw top. It's a brush about that big, a brush on the bottom, and then it's a plastic tube with a brush on the bottom and a little screw. You fill it with the cleaning with the dishwashing liquid. Screw it back on, and you can scrub your dishes with it. You press on a thing, and it's a little brush.
Oh, it's like a foam thing, a little cleaner.
Yeah. Mine broke. I've got two. I got a big one, but I don't like, and I got a little one. And I'm going to have to get another one. I'm going to go to
Publix has them.
Bed Bath and Bin Laden, and get another one. But again, little things like that. But again, Farmhouse Printing Co. can make a great idea for a gift if you're a hard to find gift person.
That's a long way to go.
Well, I've got a bunch of things I'm putting together now that I want Eric to get up for me for the kids.
What kind of toast are you looking? Are you getting a bring down toaster or a door open?
Just a toaster that pops up. That's all I want.
See, you should look at the open face ones. Only because with
toaster oven.
Because with bagels and stuff like that, they all the big ones always get stuck.
All right, that's what I
want. A toaster oven. Right. Yeah. Well, and again,
and by the way, Chloe, our good friend Chloe,
lives
up in Omaha.
We like Chloe.
Found my Princeton jersey I was talking about.
I was going to get one for you, you bastard. Somebody give me an address to get a Princeton jersey.
It was $275.
I was going to go.
No,
crap.
That's way too much money for a Christmas present. Way too. But it's not the 1920. It's a 1951 Princeton jersey. Did you see it?
No, I knew where to find it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh God,
it's stripes all the way down.
Oh my God, it's perfect.
So she get it for you?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
I said I was going to GoFundMe going.
Yeah, there you go.
Get Pete a jersey.
A couple of quick newsy things, which I think you just need to know about.
We're extra large.
Documents are proving that the Department of Homeland Security has been in cahoots for disinformation as an advisory board to try to combat conservative viewpoints. Their decision to terminate an advisory board based on recommendation from Homeland Security. They want to continue to address threat streams that undermine the security of our country, consistent with Let's see. DHS took steps to scrub what it considers threatening content, pressuring social media concerns and platforms to get rid of it as well, expanding way beyond what one considered a good faith effort to protect the public from manipulation by bad actors. Facebook granted the DHS unspecified government partners special access to fast-tracking disinformation requests on Facebook with Department of Homeland Security, among other social sites. They're in it neck deep.
You know the scariest part of it? They said they had 0 questions. They did the whole meeting, and no one said, "No, wait, what about 0 questions?"
Just accept it.
Yeah.
Lemmings. I mean, and again, they think they're doing the right thing. I think they really believe that we need to just stop those other people from being allowed to speak. I mean, this do-gooder thing. Where the hell did this come from? All of a sudden,
no,
is this helicopter parents telling your 5-year-old you're wonderful and you're never wrong, and when they grow up to be 35, they turn into this?
This is elitism at its most elite. Jesus. These people think they're morally and intellectually superior.
20-year-old white girls go to Hobart or Smith.
They're the ruling class, and they should rule.
My God.
What did Obama say that we're ready to rule on the first day or something?
I know. A couple of quickies here. M&S Title Pawn, one of our Kimmer Show podcast sponsors in beautiful downtown Bremen, Georgia. 306 Laurel Street, Suite A, open Monday through Saturday. You visit them in person. They'd love to have you stop in. They can take care of your situation. M&S, the 2 letters, M&S. M&S Title Pawn. In Bremen, Georgia, from 24 years of experience in personal finance, locally owned company, no hidden fees, straightforward terms, absolutely on the up and up. They offered a tiered rate for pawns, dedicated service, open communication. They have potential to buy out your current pawn. Here's a phone number, M&S Title Pawn in Bremen, area 678-821-3337. And if you want to look them up on the web, spell out M&S Title, and so it's spelled out manstitle.com, M-A-N-D-S title.com. Again, 678-821-3337, M&S Title Pawn in Bremen. Oh, and I brought you in the, by the way, what's that one? Show it to Vanity Fair, but also the other one.
Bizarre.
Oh, Harper's Bazaar. It's really not. I wouldn't pay money for it. That's one of those I got for like $1 or something.
You know what about this?
Oh, and Sports Illustrated. Here we go again.
They literally had to stop the presses when they fired that or suspended that coach.
Oh no, really? They did.
And there was something else, maybe a player. They had to literally stop the
guy
presses
who was involved with a girl on
to
the
do it,
staff.
yeah.
No
Change
kidding.
this, yeah.
Anyway, and Sports Illustrated there, and Harper's Bazaar, and a whole bunch of things there. So that's a scoop. Okay. South Korea, the crowd rushing, oh God, 150 plus dead, mostly young people.
I didn't know the WHO played Korea.
Oh my God! Dropping like dominoes.
Oh yeah, horrible.
Falling on top of each other and suffocating.
Couldn't
to death.
breathe, and then trampled.
Oh my God! 150 or more. I mean, more than that, including a couple of Americans, one from the University of Kentucky and one from was it Alpharetta?
Really?
Yeah. Let's see. The other was from Kennesaw State University. Stephen Blessey, 20 years old. His father wrote on Twitter when he heard of what had happened. He knew his son was there. He said, "Anybody have any information?" He appealed for information, not hearing from his son. "If anyone has, please share." A flood of responses offering help and support. He tweeted, "We just got confirmation our son died. Thank you for the outpouring of love. We need time to grieve." Kennesaw State University 20-year-old student Stephen Blessey trampled with the others in South Korea. And they put him in a narrow 15-foot thing and 100,000. I mean, come on, God. I mean, please.
It's one of the most orderly societies in the world.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah. I mean, these people will go out at 6 a.m, all 500 of them, and do calisthenics together because it's good for them. I mean, we'll talk about dedicated.
There's only 500 Koreans?
Well, there was something like that. But I mean, it's just, yeah, you're right. I mean, in terms of the snit level.
But you know me.
I do know you.
I'm a solvent problemer.
He always has an answer. We try to one up me every time. Be very careful, my friend. The head of Britain's Royal Navy says he's deeply disturbed by allegations that the females on submarines, the female Navy girls in the Britain submarine, are being bullied and sexually harassed, as well as physically assaulted. The girls say that they're like vultures. When even a new female comes on board, there's a crush depth rape list ranking the female sailors on the submarine in order that they should be raped in the case of a catastrophic event. This is a judging thing, the hot list and so
Let's
forth.
take the positive out of this. This is the British Navy.
You're right. So what's going to?
So they're taking the guys off the rape list. Yeah. What did Churchill say?
Yeah. No.
They asked what runs the British Navy.
Yeah.
Rum, sodomy, and the lash.
and they got rid of the lash. So they didn't get rid of the sodomy and the rum. But again, don't put girls on a submarine. I'm sorry. I know sexist, chauvinistic. Don't put girls on a submarine. For God's sakes, what's the matter with you? They shouldn't even be on a boat. I'm sorry. I know. It's just, I'm sorry and I'm wrong. Okay.
No, those can't.
Oh, man.
Don't do that to me, please.
Sorry. No, I mean, I know you don't put girls on a submarine with. I mean, of course. Oh man, there's sexual harassment. Well, duh, God. I'm sorry. It's wrong, and I'm wrong, and everybody else is wrong. I don't even know what I'm wrong. Okay, I got to hurry up. Flounder's got to get out of here. Am I doing way too much of this stuff? A couple of birthdays. Lyle Lovett, 65 today. Toni Collette is 50. She was the mom in the movie Sixth Sense, and she's done a bunch of things. Toni, pretty well known. Jenny McCarthy, 50 today. She's Donnie Wahlberg's squeeze, and she's Melissa McCarthy's cousin. Kinky Friedman, 78. I was going to suggest we play something of his. He's a comedian and country artist, and how do you describe
He
him?
outlived Imus and Imus's brother.
That's unbelievable. And he was on the Imus show for years and years. Is he? I guess he's a comedian or a singer.
Texan. He's a musician, comedian,
raconteur, kind of an entertainer, I guess you describe. 78. Barbara Bosin, remember her from Hill Street Blues, the kind of buck-teeth chick married to the Daniel Travani in real life. In fact, I didn't like her at all. Barbara Bosin's 83. Robert Foxworth, who did Falcon Crest, 81 today. Matt Jones from Breaking Bad, he played Badger. He's 41. Natalia Tina from Game of Thrones is 38. She was the wilding Osha. Gary
Really?
Player. What's that?
She married Jon Snow.
Yeah, she married Jon Snow, the guy who plays Jon Snow. Although it might have been the other. There were two wildings, and I think it might have been the
redhead?
The redhead was the other one. I think the redhead married Jon Snow, and I think that was the one who married Jon Snow. Gary Player, the world golfer, is 87 today, still doing push-ups. Tim Cook, the openly gay Apple guy, 61 years old today. Rick Allen, the Def Leppard one-armed drummer, 59. Rick Allen lost his arm cracking up his Corvette Stingray in Sheffield, England in 1984.
He's an artist now. He does a lot of good artwork.
Really?
Yeah.
There you are.
Just takes him a while.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Gotta hand it to him.
Well, he's all right now. No, sorry.
Gotta hand it to him. Okay, which arm did he lose?
I hope it's the left one.
Lefty. So call him Lefty.
You need a hand with that brush?
Fernando Valenzuela is at least 62.
Yeah.
The former Dodgers star pitcher is probably at least 5 years older.
Yes.
Back in the day, there was no way that he was, 24 or something. Let's see. 1910. That big new white mansion at 1600 Pennsylvania. That can't be the right date. It said it was 1910. The big mansion at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue gets its first occupant, President John Adams. Before 1800, the president lived in a Market Street mansion in Philadelphia. 1938. What a book, what a movie. The match actually took place. The race with the People's Champion against the giant Triple Crown winner, War Admiral, a huge favorite. Little Seabiscuit won the race. Back then, there was a popular way for the public to hear something very far away from their own neighborhood. It was called radio. It used to be a thing where people would go on and talk, and they play music and tell stories, and people would listen, and they'd all have fun. It was really, really incredible. You should Google it. 40 million people tuned in 1938. They had programs and everything. This radio thing.
There was some sitcom recently where they were saying they wanted to do a podcast, and someone said, "Well, what's a podcast?" And he said, "Well, it's real interesting. It's a new way to listen to stories without having to see the pictures." And someone raised their hand and says, "That's radio.
It's a radio.
You're describing radio."
Radio. I mean, my God, man. On this day in 1952, America detonates the world's first thermonuclear weapon, which uses an atomic bomb as merely the trigger, creaming the Eniwetok atoll in the Pacific, Eniwetok atoll in the Pacific, leading to Godzilla. That's where it came from. Yeah. 1955, a United Airlines flight takes off in Colorado and almost immediately explodes, incinerates in midair. John Gilbert Graham had planted a bomb in his mother's suitcase so he could collect insurance when she died. 1955. I don't remember that at all. 1983, George Burns, in 83, signs a 5-year deal with Caesars World in Vegas. He was 87 at the time. Everybody said, what a stunt. 87-year-old guy signing a 5-year contract to play in Vegas. He fulfilled the deal and then some. George Burns famously would say, I can't afford to renege on a deal because they'd make me pay if I didn't show up. And George Burns lived to be 100. Good night, Gracie. 2007, the pilot of the Enola Gay, Paul Tibbets, died, requested no funeral, no burial marker, afraid that protesters would show up forever. Yeah. He was the pilot of the plane that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, which the Japanese ignored and said, oh, yeah, is that all you got? Well, I mean, think about it. What the hell? How could you not say, boy, okay, sorry. Didn't mean to do that whole 41 thing. Jeez, idiots. The year 1012, the paintings by Michelangelo on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel were revealed to the public for the first time. There were little numbers under each of the colors. Yeah, nobody knew that. 1604, Shakespeare's Othello was presented for the first time at Whitehall Palace in London. A couple of quickies. 1896. Anybody get National Geographic magazine? Did you ever get that as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Flounder, did you ever get that at your house?
Yes.
Well, on this day in 1896, The first photograph of a bare-breasted woman appeared in National Geographic. She was a saucy Zulu.
That's why I would go looking at National Geographic.
I remember as a kid, we'd go with my parents had it up in the closet or
champagne glasses.
And those boobies were down to her knees.
Yeah, literally champagne glasses.
1913, Notre Dame beat Army at West Point 35-13. The crowd witnessed a new secret weapon in 1913 thanks to Notre Dame captain Newt Rockne.
The forward
pass. And 1999, speaking of football, Walter Payton died of bile duct cancer at 45. The NFL's all-time leading rusher until Emmitt Smith broke his record in 2002. Walter Payton goosed me on television.
I bet he did.
When I was interviewing, I think I was interviewing Dan Hampton, the defensive end, who, by the way, never looked like a football player. He had thin arms and kind of a hairless chest, and he kind of a belly. He really didn't look, but he was an awesome player. And I was interviewing Dan Hampton, the defensive tackle, and on TV, and all of a sudden I go, whoa, like that. Turned on Walter Payton and goosed me, and walked by laughing and smiling. That's my claim to fame with Walter Payton. Anyway, hold on, I got one. Did I do everything on my history? Crap, I thought I had another history shoot. Yes.
Top 5 reasons why trick-or-treating is better than sex.
Oh.
You are guaranteed to get at least a little something in the sack. If you get tired, you can wait 10 minutes and do it again. The uglier you are, the easier it is to get some. If you don't like what you get, you just go next door. And you can do the whole neighborhood.
Oh, hey. And by the way, doing the whole neighborhood is sponsored by SwapMyWhip.com. Again, if you're driving along and you're seeing a car and you're saying, boy, I always wanted to have one of those cars, you might be able to get it if you go to SwapMyWhip.com. It's a different way to look for a different ride. Whip, of course, is a ride in colloquial phrase. You might find like-minded car owners who don't want to deal with dealerships and middlemen and car salesmen and so forth. SwapMyWhip.com. See what's out there. See what you have, make yourself your own deal, and avoid all that other stuff in the middle. And it's not just cars, obviously trucks and boats, jet skis, off-road vehicles, ATVs, stuff like that. SwapMyWhip.com. This could be perfect for you. It's really worth checking out. And if you use the coupon code KIMMER, you get 180 days of free premium listings on SwapMyWhip.com. And we appreciate your support. Anyway, boys, as we almost...
we doing a Bad Takes Theater today?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
We do a quick thing. And again, I'm going to remind you that on November 12th on Saturday, Marietta Square, I'll be there to help kick off the fabulous American Legion Post Veterans Memorial 5K Run. Saturday, November 12th, early in the morning, like 7:30 or something, I think, there, in Marietta. And I think Flounder may have posted this on our Facebook page.
It's been up there.
Excellent. And I'll mention some more about that later on in case you want to fly in from, Austria or Finland or something, or Chrissy, Australia. It could be, say. All right, how you doing, boys? Everything all right?
This is the tenants one?
Yes. First guy and second guy talking. Are you the first guy or the second guy?
I'll be the second guy.
All right, then don't blow it. You have literally
This is big now.
You have literally one word. Okay.
All right, sir.
What do you call 5 ants moving into an apartment, then 5 other ants moving in with them?
Tenants.
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 I saw a license plate one that had the number 1, the number 0, the letter
here we go.
S, and the letter N, and the number 1. 10SNE1. Sorry. Anyway. Oh, man. So much. Remember, license
you
plates
Alpha
used to
players
be cool.
out there?
People used to get really cool. Maybe they're too expensive now.
And Atlanta League of Tennis Assholes?
Oh, well, what's the one where they're all cheating on each other? What do you call
That's
that?
it.
What is it?
At Alta.
Alta, yeah. All right, boys, final thoughts? Flounder, sorry you have to go back to work again.
I'm sorry we're cutting this short, but
And
this
we'll
is
be
only
doing
1 week.
Thursday. We're going to be back on Thursday. Our Thursday podcast. Woo, a high C. Anyway, I'll be a little high C. Pack me a bowl, Flounder. I'm going home. Hoorah, Semper Fi. I got to go. You're killing it. And a herp and a hoop. Thank you all. God bless America. Venmo.